from the start. So get up, get up, get up and get out. Just a little belief, shake off the doubt. It's building up, it's been building up for so long. It's building up, it's been building up for so long now.
Hi, I'm Jacob Clark. I went to Sango Elementary School, Richview Middle, and Clarksville High School. I graduated high school in 2010. After high school, I went to UT in Knoxville to do an undergrad and master's degree, and now I'm in New York City working as a big data consultant. So that's where I am now. Thinking back, I'm going to go all the way back to elementary school. I think most of my teachers are either moved to a different system or retired. So I think of Shannon Wisenant, who's now an administrator in another county, Miss Schrecker, who I think is now retired. But I think early on, looking at Miss Wisenant and Miss Schrecker, both made a big impact on not necessarily the direction that I went study-wise or career-wise, but building a level of confidence in me that I was capable of doing what I wanted, and gave me this, a safe space to explore and express my mind. And they encouraged that, which I think is something that was really important for those of us in our class, to learn how to be bold and how to listen to ourselves as well as listen to the teacher. Moving up through middle school. I'm going through my teachers there. I think the first time I really discovered that I liked math and was good at math is when I had Jamie James. She helped us learn how to be passionate about a subject and be about a certain area of study. And I think that I learned that it was good to be good at something, and it was okay to be a nerd and like it. And then moving up into high school, I think those where you have teachers that can really impact your next couple, impact your decisions going out of high school. I think of teachers like Subwang, who left, who's retired since then, and I also think of teachers like Sarah Ramsey, who have also retired. But then teachers who are still there. I think Miss Scarborough, who taught U.S. history. Teaching you what it's like to work and what you have to put in yourself to succeed. And then teachers like, and even though I didn't go into history, that what I learned in that class was that I had to work and I had to train myself to focus, which is something that you take into multiple areas once you graduate. And then teachers like Barbara Westner, I think Barbara Richardson, who taught history, and Westner, who teaches theater, who are really, really good at creating safe spaces for you and having conversations with you that teach you how to make decisions about where you want to go. It's teachers like Richardson, Westner, Scarborough, and then I think of Subwang and Ramsey always, even though they're retired now, that they're the ones that understand that you need a base set of skills, but understand that extra value that they can add to your life, where they stay with you, an hour after classes are over, to guide you through how to grow up and how to make choices that aren't just directly related to the material you're studying in class.
Hi, I'm Katie Matera, Dorset. I am a 2007 graduate of Clarksville High School. Before that, I spent kindergarten and first grade at East Montgomery, second through fifth at Sango, and then middle school at Richview. Since high school, I graduated from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville with a biomedical engineering degree, and I very recently graduated from the University of Tennessee in Memphis Medical School. So in the fall, actually in July, I'll start my OBGYN residency here in Memphis. So throughout elementary school, starting very young, I've always been very interested in science and in math. Those are always my favorite classes. I remember in kindergarten at East Montgomery, my dad, who's a science teacher at Clarksville High, would actually come as Joe Science in his little lab coat and wizard hat and teach us some things. It was Miss Phillips' class, Miss Gerald's class, and another class, and I can't remember that one. It's been about 25 years. But he would come and teach us science, and that's kind of, from a very early age, I've been just very interested in that and have taken that through middle school, high school, college, and then medical school as well. So growing up a teacher's kid was probably a different experience than most students had. But for me, I really enjoyed it. I felt like, I related really well with all of my teachers, really. Not only because I was afraid that they could just easily call my dad or my mom, and tell them I was acting up. But I've always had such an appreciation for teachers and the little things that they've taught us just throughout school, not necessarily school related. But it's been really cool for me to interact with lots of different types of teachers. Anyone who knows my dad knows that he is a little louder than most and maybe a little rough around the edges, but it's still really concerned with students learning. And I felt like it's really neat to have worked with lots of different other teachers who are very, very different from him, but still have the same goal in mind, and, have treated me like their own child, whether it was outside of school or in school. And I just think that I've really been molded by the different types of teachers that I've had throughout the years. So another thing about really middle school and high school that I really enjoy and I think has really helped mold me into the person I am today is all the extracurricular activities, and especially all the teachers who are involved in those. The memories I have the most are after school clubs and sports and art and the extra stuff. It didn't really necessarily make me any better at engineering at UT, but it did just make me a better person all around. And I know how much time, it takes to put in that extra effort after school to dedicate to students. And that's something that when I look back, I really remember the most. And I'm very thankful for everyone who put in that extra time for us to kind of make us into real people, not just, study machines, but really mold us into good people to go out into the world and to be involved in our communities and in our schools as we move on.